Get the hell out of the hamster wheel. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing the same that leads nowhere. Emotionally, physically, and financially. Here's what no one tells you. Being busy doesn't mean you're building anything. Do you feel like you're constantly moving but never getting anywhere? Do you work multiple jobs but still live paycheck to paycheck? Do you fill every hour of your day but somehow feel like you're falling behind? You're not lazy, you're not broken. You're just stuck in survival mode when you need to be in growth mode. Today, we're breaking down how to escape the hamster wheel that's keeping you exhausted, broke, and spinning in place. We're covering 5 reality checks that will shift everything. First, understanding the difference between survival mode and growth mode. Second, why busyness isn't progress, especially financially. Third, how to use the 80-20 rule to reset your entire life. Fourth, cutting the clutter that's draining your energy and money. And fifth, designing a reset week that actually moves you forward. 1. Survival mode versus growth mode. Let's start with something that might explain why you feel exhausted all the time. You're operating in survival mode, and survival mode is designed for short-term crisis management, not long-term success. Survival mode looks like living paycheck to paycheck, calendar to calendar, crisis to crisis. It's reactive. It's about putting out fires, not preventing them. It's about getting through today, not building for tomorrow. You're so busy managing what's urgent that you never have time for. What's important? Growth mode looks completely different. It's proactive. It's about building systems that work while you sleep. It's about having breathing room, financially, emotionally, and mentally. It's about making decisions from a place of abundance instead of scarcity. Ask yourself this question. Are you building your future, or are you just barely surviving your present? Because if you're honest, most of your energy is probably going toward keeping your head above water instead of swimming toward shore. Tiffany Alich, known as the Budgetnista, talks about breaking out of financial survival cycles. She says most people are so focused on surviving their current financial crisis that they never build the foundation to prevent the next one. They pay off debt just to go back into debt. They get a raise just to increase their lifestyle. They work harder just to stay in the same place. The hamster wheel isn't about how fast you're running. It's about the fact that you're running in a circle. And the only way to get off a hamster wheel is to stop running and start building a different path. 2. Busyness does not equal progress, especially financially. Here's a harsh reality. Working more jobs isn't the same as earning more wealth. You might be doing a lot, but adding zero value to your future. Motion feels productive, but progress is uncomfortable because it requires you to stop doing what feels busy and start doing what actually matters. Think about your last month. How many hours did you work? How many side hustles did you juggle? How many things did you check off your to-do list? Now ask yourself, how much closer are you to financial freedom? How much did your net worth actually increase? How much more secure is your future? If you're working 60 hours a week and still stressed about money, you're not in a work problem. You're in a strategy problem. You're trading time for money instead of building systems that generate money while you're not working. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, talks about the difference between working for money and making money work for you. Poor people work for money. Rich people have money work for them. And the key difference isn't how hard they work, it's how smart they work. You can drive for 3 different rideshare companies, work weekends, and hustle yourself into exhaustion. Or you can spend that same energy learning skills that actually increase your earning potential, building something that generates passive income, or investing in your future instead of just surviving your present. The hamster wheel tricks you into thinking that more activity equals more progress. But more activity without strategy is just sophisticated procrastination. 3. Use the 80-20 rule to reset your life and finances. Time for some uncomfortable math. According to the 80-20 rule, 20% of your actions create 80% of your results, both positive and negative. This means 80% of what you're doing is probably contributing very little to your actual progress. Look at your income. What 20% of your work actually generates 80% of your money? Look at your expenses. What 20% of your spending creates 80% of your financial stress? Look at your daily activities. What 20% of your habits create 80% of your energy drain? Most people never do this audit, so they keep doing everything instead of focusing on what actually works. They keep the low-paying gig because every little bit helps, while neglecting the skill development that could double their income. They keep subscriptions they never use because $10 a month isn't that much, while wondering why they can save money. Cut out habits, gigs, and even friendships that deliver low return on investment. That doesn't make you ruthless. It makes you strategic. Your time and energy are finite resources, and you're currently wasting most of them on activities that don't move you forward. Do a financial audit. What do you spend time and money on that gives you nothing back? What commitments are you keeping out of habit rather than purpose? What relationships drain more energy than they provide? The goal isn't to do more things. The goal is to do the right things and eliminate everything else. 4. Cut the clutter fast. Your hamster wheel is powered by clutter. Dead routines, energy vampires, and budget leaks that you've been ignoring because they seem small individually but are massive collectively. Dead routines are things you do out of habit but that are draining you. Checking your phone first thing in the morning. Watching Netflix for 3 hours every night. Scrolling social media during your lunch break. These routines aren't necessarily bad, but they're keeping you in passive mode instead of active mode. Energy vampires are people, apps, and subscriptions that leech your time and money. The friend who only calls to complain. The apps that send you 50 notifications a day. The subscriptions you forgot you had that are auto-billing you every month. David Bach, author of The Latte Factor, shows how small financial leaks sink big ships. That $8 coffee, $15 subscription, $25 impulse purchase. They seem insignificant individually, but they add up to thousands of dollars a year that could be building your future instead of funding your habits. Do a budget detox. Cancel the subscriptions you don't use. Unfollow accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. Delete apps that waste your time. Eliminate routines that keep you stuck. This isn't about deprivation, it's about intention. You're making space for what matters by removing what doesn't. 5. Plan a reset week with your calendar and your wallet. Here's where we get practical. I want you to plan a reset week, 7 days where you intentionally break your autopilot patterns and rebuild with purpose. Unfollow 30 accounts that add no value to your life. These might be people who make you feel inadequate, brands that tempt you to spend money you don't have, or content that leaves you feeling worse about yourself. Eat all your meals at home this week, not because restaurants are evil, but because this forces you to be intentional about your spending and your health. It breaks the pattern of convenience purchases that add up without you noticing. Rebuild your daily routine with intention, not default. Instead of checking your phone first thing in the morning, spend 10 minutes planning your day. Instead of scrolling before bed, spend 10 minutes reviewing what you accomplished. Revisit your money goals and automate one savings or investment action. Set up an automatic transfer to savings. Start investing $25 a week. Pay an extra $50 toward debt. The amount doesn't matter. The automation does, as Naval Ravikant says. Learn to build. Learn to sell. If you do both, you'll be unstoppable. This week isn't about doing more. It's about getting out of autopilot and back into intentional living. This reset week serves as a circuit breaker for your hamster wheel patterns. It forces you to be conscious about choices you've been making unconsciously. All right, time for some tough love that's going to sting, but ultimately set you free. Let's be real. No one is coming to rescue you from your own routine. If you're waiting for a better boss, a miracle raise, or some magical burst of motivation, you're already losing. You're not overworked. You're underaligned. You're busy, not building. You scroll more than you plan. You grind without strategy. That's not hustle. That's self-sabotage with a productivity filter. You complain about being broke while spending money on stuff you don't need. You complain about being tired while staying up late doing things that don't matter. You complain about being stuck while doing the exact same things every day that got you stuck in the first place. Your hamster wheel isn't something that happened to you, it's something you built. And the good news is that if you built it, you can dismantle it. But only if you stop pretending that running faster will somehow get you somewhere different. Freedom isn't found in hustle, it's found in leverage. It's found in building systems that work without you. It's found in developing skills that increase your value instead of just increasing your hours. Stop waiting for permission to change your life. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone else to fix what only you can fix. This week, you're doing your reset week. No negotiations, no excuses. Cancel 3 useless subscriptions today. Write down everything you spend this week. Yes, even the $5 coffee. Schedule 30 minutes to plan your next 30 days with no distractions, no excuses. Then ask yourself the question that changes everything. Am I working for survival or am I building for freedom? Your hamster wheel is waiting for you to step off. The question is, are you brave enough to stop running in circles and start walking towards something better? If this video made you realize you've been running in place instead of running towards something, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're building a community of people who refuse to stay stuck in survival mode when growth mode is available. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one thing you're cutting this week to stop running in circles? Let's crowdsource our reset and help each other break free. Remember, you're not broken, you're untrained. And the skills to build a different life can be learned starting today. Until next time, stop surviving and start strategizing.